Greetings, this is August 8th at 9 p.m. I'm going to take a look at the latest satellite infrared data, and we're just going to do a quick check on the numbers. 137,083 hectares involved and 25,786 hotspots. I'm not going to subtract or do the math on this right now. I want to jump right to it. Let's look at the fire perimeter. It seems that there is some expansion on this map, and you want to go to TNRD, you want to go to BC Wildfire and check for their on the ground confirmation of all this, any data. So there is Clinton. Looks like a little jog over the Highway 97. The southwest at Highway 99, Highway 97 has some increase in the perimeter. Then over on the eastern flank and in the northeast slightly. There's the hot spots. There's the volatility going on right now. From this distance away, it looks fairly similar, but there is some isolated flare-ups within the fire perimeter that seem to be causing some issues. We're going to jump in and look at Highway 99, Highway 97 intersection. These are the most recent hotspots, infrared data for this area in the last 6 hours. Let's look at the last 12 hours. There are the areas that they've been concentrating on. It looks, and remember, some of these spots can be 500 meters, a kilometer out. So they have to be verified by people on the ground. There is the activity that's occurring as it was mapped as heat over the last 24 hours. So that's a condition that's going on there right now. That's a fight that they're dealing with. And if we jump up to Clinton, there's the hot spots that have newly developed over the last 6 hours. I see one at the top of the hill. Let's go to the 6 and 12 hour map. Still no change. That's very good news. No increased new infrared hotspots using this system were detected. So let's look at that 24-hour map. This is the trouble areas. This is what they're working on. So I see a couple out towards Kelly Lake. Again, we don't know what that is. It's a red dot on a screen. There's all that stuff they're working on the hilltop. This is a jump over to Chasm. I'm sorry, Chasm, you only get one screen, but in this update, that's good news because there's nothing showing for the last 24 hours, and I think that's up to 36 hours now. So this is over on the northeast flank above Upper Loon Lake at the Bonaparte. That's everything that's been occurring newly in the last 6 hours. Now we've got looking at the last 12 hours. So there is a lot of activity in some terrain that's peppered with lakes, peppered with variations in the geography, especially around the Bonaparte, very rough area. That's the 24-hour map. So that's where the battle is going on right now. I'm going to suggest there's columns of smoke coming up off the area. They're carrying ash and embers, and we're seeing a little bit of isolated infrared popping up along the fringes of that zone just because of the intensity and the volatility. We're going to go a little bit further south, and this is the 6-hour map on that eastern flank. Notice all the patterns. These are strategic placement of heat, and they're showing up on this within the last 6 hours. So we have the overlay of everything that's happened in the last 12 hours. So again, a lot of activity. It looks like they're cutting off a front that wants to go to the northeast. Here was the 24-hour map. So this is what the infrared looks like now. This is where all the activity is going on. We see these horizontal placements, almost as if they've been mapped out. Here is the fire perimeter in that area. So it has expanded. It's reaching the ridge line above Deadman River on the western side of the Deadman River. There are hot spots out there. There's considerable activity occurring there now. This is the last 6 hours on the region between Loon Lake and Upper Loon Lake. Part of that extended front that's trying to reach Vedette, but it's being cut off by our wildfire crews. We saw all that patterning. That means there is strategic placement of heat. Now the image is going to roll to the 24-hour period before this update, and we see all of the activity in the area. That's fire being overlaid by patterned infrared, and we can see the areas where there's a lot of intensity between the lakes, and perhaps they're using the lakes as a guard. I just want to say something. I don't know if I should. I don't want to offend anyone, but I saw this image. I showed it to my young relative and I said, "What does that look like?" And immediately the response was, "That's an elephant." That scared me a little bit. I'm just going to leave it at that. This is the southeast flank, the portion that was approaching upon Highway 1. This is the 24-hour map, and I want to say that that looks like a lot of fantastic progress and warrants only one map. That's a good sign. When you fade into obscurity on these updates, that means you're doing okay. It's not that I don't want to mention you, it just means that there's other areas that are more volatile and you are holding. So that's very good for the southeast flank and the crews working there. This is the wind right now, and 5 kilometers from the north-northwest. Again, looking at Friday high noon for a wind change, maybe up to 12 kilometers an hour, 14, and then slowing down a bit. But then again on Saturday, picking up speed, could be 15, 20 kilometers an hour flowing from the south. It looks like the humidity got pushed back a day, so we're going to watch that. Weather systems change, of course. It's hydrothermal dynamics and all the rest of it. And the people looking after it, like this brave person at Big Bar, it looks like they're on fire lookout. Those are the people that are going to make sure we're on top of things. So that's Big Bar. Again, smoky, hazy, not a change in the weather that I can foresee on the computer models that I'm referring to on this Android. You want to check the TNRD website, you want to check BC Wildfire, check Drive BC, and look at their cams, because Drive BC is a fantastic resource that this province has. I don't know if they have it in other provinces. We have it, and it's fantastic. I can look all over the province and just kind of take a little holiday with their webcams. So check them out, and there's the Fire Map Plus system where you can look at infrared and satellite data, and that's fantastic. If I was in the bush, I'd be using that system. I just can't show it on the screen here because the dots are a little small, but you'll be able to see it if you check it out. So thank you very much. This was a quick update. Be safe.